Many consumer laws provide for not only an award of attorney's fees for consumers, but also awards of statutory damages, which means even if the consumer did not lose a specified amount of money, the court will award them certain damages and certain monies just for their troubles, essentially. So it's important not only for consumers to know their rights, but also for businesses to stay in compliance with the various consumer laws and statutes that affect their businesses. For example, companies who are collecting consumer debts, especially in Florida, whether they are debt collectors or not, need to understand the various restrictions and regulations in the Florida Consumer Collection Practices Act. Debt collectors specifically need to understand their restrictions in the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Both of these statutes provide for an award of statutory damages and an award of attorney's fees for prevailing consumers, and both of these statutes have very, very strict requirements when collecting debts or interacting in general about debts with consumers. In general, companies who deal with consumers and collect amounts owed, we won't just call them debts, but any amounts owed from consumers, need to have specific policies and procedures in place to make sure that violations of the FCCPA or the FDCPA do not occur. These policies need to include specific provisions about collecting interest, collecting late fees, and communicating with creditors or debtors who are represented by counsel. These policies and procedures must be specific, and there must be policies directed at each individual restriction within the FCCPA and the FDCPA. Also, contracts or agreements with consumers must specify methods and charges that may be involved when the consumer does not pay or is required to pay. This includes late fees, late charges, interest, and debt collection fees. You also need to make sure you have the requisite consent to contact the consumer or his friends and family. If you don't, then again, you're going to violate the various statutes. If you or your business gets sued or is the subject of a lawsuit for violating a consumer law, it is very important that you hire a lawyer with specific knowledge in the area. A recent South Florida publication wrote an article talking about how lawyers are dabbling in the space. Unfortunately, though, companies who are hiring those lawyers who are dabbling are not succeeding and are not getting proper representation in their defense. This is because consumer laws such as TILA, RESPA, the FDCPA, and the FCCPA are very nuanced and also interact with other consumer laws and regulations. You must hire a lawyer who is well-versed in defending these lawsuits and well-versed in the restrictions, regulations, and interactions with other laws. If your business is the subject of a lawsuit for violations or alleged violations of consumer laws, contact an attorney immediately. You can reach us at www.zpllp.com or call us at 954-989-6333 and ask to speak with a lawyer in our consumer law practice group.